Hello, this is BSJ back with another little item discussion. This time we're going to be talking about Blink and Shadowblade.
Banana slam jam.
Why I've grouped these two items together is obviously they are both, in a way, mobility items. They're both initiation items, and they are both escape items. The factors I have when I'm going to buy a Shadowblade versus a Blink is first and foremost, if I'm Shadowbladed, I like to think to myself that if the opponent happens to see me, will I just die? What I mean by that is that if I am Shadowbladed and they have an instant stun, or an instant silence, or an instant way to just lock me down, then Shadowblade doesn't feel that good, because then you're simply relying on the opponent to not have sentries, or detection of any sort. So the games I really like Shadowblade, like the ideal Shadowblade game, is where even if they do see me, worst case scenario, I can push a button. So Shadowblade tends to be better on heroes that can push a button. So what I mean by push a button, say I'm Slark against no Dark Pact piercing disables. So they see me, I instantly push Dark Pact. If I'm a PL and they see me, I instantly push Doppelganger. If I'm Jug and they instantly see me, I push Spin. A lot of these heroes that have this natural way to survive do like this item. Because not only is it for that, but it also gives you a decent amount of damage. 30 attack speed, 27 damage, and if you happen to get that Shadow Walk hit off, it is 175 damage bonus. So if you compare that to the no damage of the Blink Dagger, that is another additional benefit of the Shadowblade. When we're talking about like offlane initiators, we're talking about like the Centaurs, the Axes, the Legions. Really, the only time I'm going Shadowblade is after a Blink. So, sometimes, a lot of people don't think about Shadowblade as a positioning item. Sometimes, you need to Blink on top of them. Like, all the things that are bad about a Shadowblade that I just mentioned are the case. So, you do need to Blink on top of them. But if they also have a way to initiate onto you, Shadowblade's really nice, because it allows you to basically play around sentries and gem, which, even if they have a gem, it is only 900 range of true sight compared to the 1800 vision, right, that each hero has during the day. So the AoE is actually a fourth the size because, radius squared and all that kind of stuff. So the cool thing about Shadowblade is if I feel like my positioning is really important and it's super important that I don't get initiated onto before I get the initiation, I like to use Shadowblade as a positioning tool for Blink on these offlane heroes. When it comes to playing carries, very rarely will I go Blink Dagger. I have gone like Blink Dagger PL, very, very niche. The idea of Blink on carries is that it simply does not give you any damage. But on certain heroes, it does help you farm. And a lot of heroes that have everything they already need, Blink Dagger can sometimes just be enough. Like I've bought it against support Sniper more than I would like, something like a hero like Sniper, where it's your sole purpose to jump that guy in the back. So it's kind of like for offlaners, Blink Dagger's the rule, Shadowblade's the exception. For carries, Shadowblade's the rule, Blink Dagger's the exception. Obviously, what I mean by that, if you haven't watched a lot of my videos, is that I'm primarily going Shadowblade on carries and would need a very specific situation to go Blink, and vice versa on offlaners, except for the fact that Shadowblade does pair very well with Blink Dagger. So, once again, main point, if you are detectable and you instantly die, I don't like Shadowblade. If not, then I really like Shadowblade. So if you're a carry, and I talk about Shadowblade versus Blink, and all the things that work for Shadowblade that make it bad are not true, consider a different item. Shadowblade is not an escape item. Shadowblade is not a, oh shit, I got ganked, push Shadowblade. Shadowblade is a initiation, potentially an escape item, meaning that if you're buying it just to like walk around the map farming and hoping they don't kill you because you have invis, heroes like Sniper, Shadowblade is a positioning item. It allows you to sit in the back and not get jumped at the fight, but it's not a farming efficiency item. On the other hand, when you're Slark, for instance, it allows you to travel around the map through wards and be more efficient because you do more damage, and it lets you play the map differently. I really do emphasize the best heroes are the ones that have innate survivability and a button to press once they are detected. And if you're a hero that doesn't have that, maybe you go an item first that gives you that. Say you're only against silences and you're Jug, You'd want to go Manta before you go that Shadowblade, you know? If you're a sniper, maybe you go BKB and then Shadowblade, because if they detect you, you can just say, oh shit, and push BKB. And that's it for Shadowblade versus Blink Dagger.